Warriors! The biggest shift in generational wealth is right now. The biggest shift in generational wealth is right now. And I'm going to break it down for you. My name is Coach JV. I am the top health and mindset coach in the world. What you believe in your heart, you think in your mind will eventually become your words and become your reality. What you repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mind. What gets ingrained in your subconscious mind becomes an unconscious activity. If you can see it in your mind, eventually you can hold it right here in your hand. I just did something. Comment down below and see if you caught what just happened. I just disrupted a pattern. If you're paying attention and you understand what predictive programming is, you have caught what I just did. Now, the reason why I'm doing these videos more casual on Saturdays is because I did a video last week just from my heart, and I'm doing it again. I just came off of my podcast filming. So I did 5 podcasts. I do 5 podcasts a week. Every single week, it's a Coach JV podcast. It's unhinged. It's not PG-13. So if you're sensitive, don't listen to it. It's the Coach JV podcast. You can find me. Just type in Coach JV on Google. You'll find all my stuff. Okay. So today I want to talk about the biggest shift in generational wealth. And so I've been learning and experiencing some things in the recent past that have completely changed my life. Now, I've been very honest with you guys. If you want to watch the really breakdown of the honest video of what really happened to me, I'm not going to bullshit you. I'm not going to act like I'm some multi-millionaire balling out of control. I'm somebody who's on my way to becoming a millionaire, built $1 million company. I'm mentoring with some of the highest level people in the world, in my opinion. I'm going to change people's lives. The reason why is because authenticity, number one. I'm sharing my full story. I've gotten the living shit kicked out of me and I've gotten back up. I've learned how to build $1 million company in the worst economic times in the world. And there's a couple things I'm going to talk about in regards to mindset today. And I'm going to talk about what I learned that blew my mind from my mentor, who I'm going to be working with very closely, that blew my mind. And if my mentor will understand this and you will understand this, if you give me a bit of knowledge, I'm going to dive so effing deep into that, it will flip your lid. That's how my brain works. When you teach me something and you give me a new bit of knowledge, I'm going to rip it apart and I'm going to understand it and I'm going to learn it. So I don't even think my mentor understands who he brought on as a mentee. I'm one of the hardest working, most disciplined people I've ever met in my life. And because of that, it is going to change people's lives dramatically. Those who have ears to hear will hear. Like I said, I'm not here for likes, comments, and followers. And some people got upset because I said something recently. I said, I don't need the academy. And what I meant by that is I don't need anything within the physical world at all. When I realized, and we're going to talk about mindset first, and I'm going to talk about the biggest shift in generational wealth. What I realized is that I have everything I need. You've been built into a paradigm. Here's why you're not getting my notifications. I'm about to tell you the truth. Most of you aren't getting my notifications that my videos are out. Here's why. When I realized I had everything I needed, we have everything we need. We've been bred to believe that we don't have what we need. We've been bred into a scarcity mindset that you think you need your job, that you need your shelter, that you are, we got to get food. Where are we going to get food? Do you realize that the earth has everything you need? That God provides fruit trees, systems and processes where you can grow your own food. You can build your own shelter. It was when we developed a monetary system and they realized that who controls the money, controls the information, controls the people. It's very simple. It's nothing nefarious or anything like that. You choose to make it nefarious. You're making a conscious choice to be in the paradigm you're in. The life you're living right now is a culmination of the thoughts, actions, and behaviors up until this point. And I'm going to say for once, just once, that it's not your fault. But now that you have this information, it's your fault. Because many of you are living generation after generation after generation of programming. Think about the Great Depression. Our grandparents went through the Great Depression, right? So your parents are living the subconscious mind programming of families that went through a horrific time. And we're on the verge of a massive Great Reset that's going to look very similar to that, in my opinion. Okay? Not financial advice, my opinion. Now, what you're living is the subconscious mind programming that was bred into the scarcity mindset. Eat everything on your plate. There's starving kids in China. They go on and on and on, right? And so we created not only a scarcity society, but an obese society, a sick society that's addicted to medication, that doesn't want to solve the problem, that just wants to solve the symptoms, We're in an education system that keeps you just over broke. You go to school, you get two 15-minute recesses, a 30-minute lunch. What does that sound like? Corporate America. If you speak out of school, you end up in the principal's office. If you go outside the curriculum, you're going to fail. If you don't know how to memorize and your brain works like me and it's very difficult to memorize, but actually connects dots and likes to solve problems, you're not going to do very good in traditional school. My daughter's very similar to that. I'm sure my son's going to be very similar as well. So someone like me didn't do very good in traditional school because my brain tries to actually solve the problem, not to memorize. My brain doesn't work that way. And most people like me end up being entrepreneurs and running large things. Look at some of the most esoteric people in the world. They think differently. Just because you memorize something and you're a business professor doesn't mean you can run a business. Just because you go to economics doesn't mean you're good at understanding the economy. And so there's a structure that's been built into a system that is the reason why this feels uncomfortable to you. And I'm not here to change your mind. I'm not even about left, right, up, down. I don't care if you take the V or don't take the V. I don't care if you believe in the C or don't believe in the C. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I don't care what religion you are. I support you and I love you. What I do know is that a year and a half ago, I completely changed my paradigm by reading a book called The Richest Man in Babylon. I read Think and Grow Rich. I pretty much have almost memorized that book. One of the principles that I have really focused on the last year and a half is sexual transmutation of energy. That has changed my life. I've been single for about a year and a half, and I completely have mastered that. And it's complete. And I poured myself into my business using that sexual energy. That's one of the principles people look over. Go read the book, Think and Grow Rich, right? I've also surrounded myself with amazing human beings, masterminds. I have vision boards everywhere. I program my subconscious mind to wealth. That's besides the point. Okay. So now that you know where you live and what you're in and what you're experiencing through the subconscious mind programming from generation after generation, you now have a decision. Now let's talk about the biggest shift in generational wealth. My mind was blown in the last 2 weeks. So I'll be mentoring with someone who has mentored with the likes of some of the richest people in the world and some of the people that you read books on and you haven't even taken action on any of the activities and behaviors. And this person has surpassed some of these people. And I get the opportunity to be a mentee with this person. Why? Because I opened up my mind into awareness to a new possibility. I'm not shocked that I got to meet this person. I'm not shocked that I get to mentor with this person. And I'm not shocked that I will become a multi-millionaire. You can do the exact same thing. It all starts here. And it's an understanding that right now, there's never been a time like this in our history. This is a 1929 type moment. There was two types of people that came out of the Great Depression. Number one is what most of you are experiencing, because probably multimillionaires or billionaires are not watching this video, right? So you're trying to break free from something. You want more information, especially if you're here right now still. You want more for your life. You're tired of being broke just like I was. You're tired of making money and then all of a sudden losing it, being back in debt. And I was very transparent. Go watch my last Saturday's video. I was very transparent where I'm at financially, okay? I'm not trying to claim some bullshit. I'll tell you where I'm heading. I built $1 million company. I'm going to scale it to 10. I promise you, within the next 2 years. I will do that, putting out to the universe. If things go the way it was, I will be a millionaire personally within this year. If things go the way that I set up my crypto portfolio and the smart exit strategy that I have, right? I will also be mentoring to be getting into some very high level buying corporations. So my whole life in the next 2 years is going to be completely different. It's unrealistic to see what happened within a year and a half. So the reason why it's changed so dramatically is because I started hearing something called the Great Reset and the biggest shift in generational wealth. And I thought I had it figured out. I thought it was just the crypto space and moving from industrial to technical. That's a big part of it. We're moving from Web 2.0 to Web 3.0. 15 years ago, you just got an iPhone. Look how much has changed. It's like going from paper letters to email, from a beeper to a cell phone. It's no different than those types of situations. And there's two types of people again. The people who get stuck in the old paradigm and stay there and complain about it. And then there's a group of people like us that actually take advantage of the biggest shift in generational wealth and pandemics. When you look this way, there's a whole nother narrative going on this way. And the narrative that you were looking at this way pushed us all into technology, Zoom calls, using our phones, digital wallets, doing transactions differently, slowing down the movement of cash. So that's what I got really caught up in and understanding, because I have a 12-year banking history, and I went to CBA Executive Banking School, and I learned how to scale banks. Left corporate America to start my Freedom Company that many of you are in the Warrior Academy. Okay, you can click the link down below to join our Freedom Academy. Okay, now, I was focused on mostly crypto with my exit strategy, thinking that was the biggest shift in generational wealth, okay? Until I got schooled the last 2 weeks. And I understood that that's a part of it. It's part of the ecosystem. It's a very high risk speculative. And I'm fully in crypto. I'm letting you guys know I'm almost 98% crypto with a very strict exit strategy to exit. And as I exit, I hit a couple exit targets and I bought silver and I staked in Diet and I'm going to be buying companies. Now I verbalized that I was going to be buying more companies. And then the mentor came into my life. Not shocked. It's because I manifest everything I want. Because I'm very clear-minded, I'm focused, I'm transmuting sexual energy, and I'm following the principles of Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and The Richest Man in Babylon. That's what changed my life a year and a half ago, The Richest Man in Babylon. So I will not buy any liabilities until my assets can pay for them. I still drive a paid-off Malibu. I live in a small apartment, and I'm wearing pretty much the same clothes from a year ago because I'm comfortable. I have everything I need. Remember what I said? You have everything you need. You've been born into a society that makes you think that you need to fight for your food, you need to fight for your paycheck. That's called being just over broke. Okay, now here is the true biggest shift in generational wealth. It has to do with crypto. It's a shift in technology. It's an infrastructure change. It's a middle class change. 40% of middle class workers are probably going to be displaced within the next 10 years based on technology. And so what we're doing is we're investing in the technology, fundamental cryptos, and things that blockchain. They're going to change it. Here's the next thing that I learned the last 2 weeks, and I'm a baby infant in this stage, but I'm going to continue to help you learn and grow this, okay, or understand this as I learn it. Baby boomers, baby boomers, baby boomers. Baby boomers is the biggest shift in generational wealth. 45% of the wealth is tied up in 35% of the population. Let me repeat that. Hopefully I got the numbers right. You can verify me on this. Don't trust a word I say, but here's what I know based on my studies, just like we're all looking at the internet. 45% of the wealth is tied up with 35% of the people. Who are the biggest people having trouble shifting into this new paradigm, right? They've been stuck in an old earth paradigm for a very, 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 very long time. It's like moving a freight tanker. You're going to go to somebody who's 60, 70 years old and tell them that a house may not be a good investment. Like that's what some of the elites are saying now, like things like that. But that I digress with that because I still need to learn a lot more about this, okay? So listen, so 45% of the wealth is tied up with 35% of the population. Where are they having trouble transitioning into the cryptocurrency space? So the CEO of Salesforce bought Time Magazine in 2019, who is heavily connected to cryptocurrency. Go research Time Magazine. With Time Magazine, you can now pay for your subscription with crypto.com. Okay, they're predictive programming these baby boomers to get on board with cryptocurrency. But that's not the biggest shift in generational wealth. What I'm learning is that 45% of the wealth that's tied up with 35% of the population, guess where it's in? Businesses. The baby boomers are in a really weird position right now. Okay. They built these amazing companies that have been sustained year after year after year after year after year after year. They're profitable. They know how to run a business. It's been in the family for a long time. And they're in this weird position now. They want to retire. You don't want to freaking run your business for the rest of your life. You want to retire and go off into the sunset. And then number two, we have a pandemic going on that is scaring the living shit out of people. Our stock market's overvalued by 234%. So all this wealth that's tied up in 35% of the population needs to transfer somewhere. Where's it going to transfer to, warriors? I'm going to kind of leave you right there. This is where my knowledge is at right now, and this is where I'm going. That wealth has to transfer somewhere. A couple things that I do know in my paradigm, it's going to come. Some of it's going to come into cryptocurrency. It's going to move from a $1 trillion market to a $2 trillion market very, very soon, I believe, within the next year. Elizabeth Warren is warning. The government's warning that, right? If you're invested in crypto, that's your appreciation. But that's not the biggest thing, warriors. I'm about to learn some stuff that's going to change your life. Now, how did I get to this point? It's because I stopped listening to the bullshit. I started reading books. I started watching billionaires and multimillionaires. I started listening to Jerome Powell and all the head people and what they were saying. And I would say, okay, they would say this, and then I would do the opposite and it would work. When everybody was freaking out, I would buy. When everybody was getting excited, I would sell. Very simple, following the Warren Buffett model, buy blood in the streets. Well, guess what? There's gonna be more blood in the streets, warriors. By design, whatever you wanna call it, there's going to be blood in the streets. We're in the 7-year cycle. There's going to be a collapse, and whatever you want to call it, could be a stock market collapse. The rent moratorium, I think, is up now. It's up now, I believe, right? So we're in this weird space. So I'm going to leave it right there. I'm going to keep bringing you these open, transparent, emotional videos and share with you guys where I'm at. Because I'm here to learn and grow and share. Learn and grow and share. So the biggest shift in generational wealth and the Great Reset is here, warriors. Do your research. Do your research. So you can either complain about it, you can bitch about it, or you can do something about it. You can be an armchair quarterback and sit there and talk shit to the TV and talk about how nefarious this person is and how nefarious, and this person took the V and this person didn't take the V, and Biden versus Trump and blah, blah, blah. Or you can just become the ecosystem and change the narrative. You can be a Rosa Parks and finally walk to the front of the bus and say, F you. I'm not listening to this bullshit paradigm that you guys have created for me. You can be a Martin Luther King who stands up in front of people and says, no, we're all human beings. There is no color. You can be a Conor McGregor who's a freaking plumber and says, no, fuck this. I'm not living this life anymore. And a lot of you hate him because he did it. You can be a Jim Carrey who becomes famous and realizes it's not that big of a fucking deal and it's actually pretty wild and awakens. You can be a Kanye West who goes through a spiritual awakening and comes back and they think he's freaking crazy. You can be a Justin Bieber who gets all the fame in the world, is now on stage praising Jesus. But all these people are going to be remembered for a lifetime, warriors. So I ask you, you're here still 16 minutes in. It's you. You are the generational shit. You're 16 minutes in. Do you know how rare you are? Do you know how fucking rare you are to be here right now? To be 16 minutes into a video when the attention span of a human is 5 seconds, it's you. You're the generational shifter. Congratulations. Now, I'm not trying to convince you to believe a word I say. You know, there's been people on my Facebook saying I'm a cult. A cult leader doesn't say, I love every single religion. Don't listen to a word I say. Make your own decisions. I don't want you to be like me. I don't want you. I want you to be like you. You have different fingerprint, different age. What I don't want you to do is not take advantage of the biggest shift in generational wealth. So my mind got blown the last 2 weeks, whereas I thought I had it figured out. And I realized I'm an infant in this game. An infant. Yeah, I'm great at cryptocurrency and I understand I have a great portfolio. If it goes the way it goes, if it doesn't, I'm still going to do very, very well. We know how to scale $1 million company. If you can scale $1 million company, you can scale a $10 million company, but that's not the biggest shift. There's a flood of 45% of the wealth coming into our society, into our group. And guess what? It's going to end up in the same fucking hands unless you wake up. There's only a few of you watching this. Click the link down below. You can join our free Discord. You can join our free Facebook group. To get the most value, to be honest with you, you can join our Private Warrior Academy, 120-day challenge, subconscious mind programming, goal setting, vision board creation, how we live our lives, a lot of things I just talked about. You get access to my portfolio. I'm not a financial advisor. If somebody messages you and says, hey, invest money with me, that's not me. There's a bunch of fake accounts out there. I do not invest people's money. I'm like, here's my portfolio. Here's my exit strategy. We have cryptocurrency calls. We go live 3 times a week. We just added what we're doing. We're showing you what we're doing day trading wise, not financial advice. We're gem hunting for you guys. We have a deep cryptocurrency, deep dive, a rabbit hole call on Thursday. We go deep into the rabbit hole. We have technical analysis. We have a team answering questions in cryptocurrency. And I am now going to be mentoring with somebody who's taking advantage of the biggest shift in generational wealth. And it's not even what I thought it was, warriors. And life will never be the same. Life will never be the same. You damn well know I'm going to share this with you guys because I'm here to leave a dent in the universe. And I heard somebody say, a leader that I look up to that I was following and kind of watching, they're like, you know, you can't really leave a dent in the universe. I disagree with that 100%. You can absolutely leave a dent in the universe. I brought up some people that did. Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King, Conor McGregor will be remembered forever, Muhammad Ali, Robin Williams. These people left a fucking dent in the universe, warriors, and we still talk about them. So absolutely, you can leave a dent in the universe, or you can just be dust in the wind. Warriors, rise! Get your shit together. Let's go.